Okay. If you can hear me, just type 111. Okay, so can you hear me now? It's another beautiful day. Hope you all had a good day. Let's see. Let's try. Can you hear me? If you can hear me, please type 111. All is well here. Thank you, Peter. Peter, it's so good to see you, honestly. As in, like, like I want to sing now so that you play something. Oh my goodness. Okay, the sound just keeps breaking. That's what Ephraim says. Let's see. So let's make sure that everybody on all the platforms, everybody's great, and then we will. Okay, so please confirm if you can hear us loud and clear on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. Please just go ahead and type 111 just to confirm. Would like to know that for sure before we go ahead. And I cannot see the comments right now because of something that is obscuring the view. Obscuring the view. Hey, hey, hi, Emma Jonah from IG. I see you. Thank you so much, Peter, for the confirmation. Okay, so everybody is fine now. Fantastic. We are good to go. Woohoo! So I was saying we are continuing with the Bliss and Blisters series, and today is not going to be less interesting. In fact, today is going to be as exciting, if not more, because we are looking at the Bliss and Blisters of the married. Woo! Let's see, because the singles will say, please let the singles breathe. And sometimes when you see the pictures of people who are married, you may be saying, oh, it's all rosy, you know, if that's the part you're looking at. Then if you're looking at the part where people are coming to celebrate divorce, and do party, cut cake, finally free and stuff like that, then you are probably going to be saying that it's all blisters for people who are married. Well, let's find out, what is it about being married? What's the blissful side? And what's the part that you may consider blisters? And how do you handle them if you are experiencing some blisters in your marriage? I would like to ask that you let us know where you're joining us from today. And if you're a first timer, please go ahead and do hashtag first timer. Hey, hashtag first timer. Let's know everybody that is joining us for the first time. You're all welcome. And if you have not yet subscribed, please do. You know that here we bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your lives and your relationships. And we keep it real and we talk about the issues. We don't mind breaking tables. And here you are free to say what is on your mind. In fact, if the thing is pinching you in a certain way, you can ask for the link and join us live and share your thoughts on the subject. This is in addition to the chats that are always buzzing. Hey, Imagine is joining us from Abuja. Imaya, welcome. Yes, so please share the link with other people who you feel will benefit from this program, and let's make this exciting. Let's do it together. We're in this together, yes. Okay, so here we go, the Bliss and the Blisters. Last week we talked about Bliss and Blisters of the single, and we reviewed a number of things. If you would like to know more about that, please just go to the channel and look for the Bliss and Blisters of being single. Today it's about being married. Okay, so I have with me in the studio my husband Kingsley Bature, and we have been married for a number of years now. We can say that our marriage is a teenager, as my husband loves to put it. Yes, he says our marriage is a teenager because based on the number of years, it would be in secondary school now. Maybe graduating, about to graduate,
it's
right?
About to graduate.
Yes, from secondary school. The senior student.
Yes, the senior secondary school marriage. Yes. Yes.
Yes. So
I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. As usual, my name is Kingsley, Bature, the one and only. If you find another Kingsley Bature, tell him to see me.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
I was listening to you. There are all these technology demons that always try to show up. Whenever you have set everything and you want to do the show anyway, but God passed them, right? So I was trying to say, I was listening to when you started. I was trying to say, please, anybody, wherever you are watching us from or you are hearing us from, please. It's a good time to share. Just take a moment, 30 seconds. We can stop the program for you. 30 seconds, share, like, distribute. Just send it broadcast on WhatsApp.
Yes.
And let somebody join in to this meeting.
Yes, and I guess it's a good time to also look at some of the comments. A number of people joined really early today. In fact, there was someone who left a comment 2 hours before the show started.
So we're going to look at. I'm going to look at the comment section, and then I'm going to put it up.
Yes, a special greeting. A special greeting to that person in particular.
Yes, a special greeting to a don't guess it.
He don't guess it.
He don't guess it.
You don't answer.
Okay.
So you're welcome. Thank you so much for joining early.
And the comment was, when you are with the right partner, that is when a relationship is amazing.
So
amazing.
Yes,
I like that comment. I agree with it, but I also disagree with it.
Okay, so let me just try to say what I am hearing. That if you are with the right person, that's what she said, but that's when your relationship will be amazing. So if you're with the right person, then the likelihood of having more of bliss in your marriage, yes, is higher than if you are with a problematic individual. You may have more of blisters. So that's our opening comment. Thank you very much, Idong. And we also have Ephraim. Ephraim says, okay, this was Ephraim telling us about the sound. Debbie, you're welcome, always on time. Thank you so much.
Martin
said it
be things. See, that's why I told you not to be.
So wait, stop that. I don't land like Landa Brothers.
Guys, let's check that pigeon now that she's.
No, I didn't complete it.
Is it authorized pigeon? You understand? Is it the authorized pigeon or is it the honorized?
No, this part of the bliss of being married, because when it's time for pigeon, I can defer to you. I can, can ask you to step in and run the show, so I don't have to worry about speaking pigeon. But yes, every now and then, when it is necessary, and inspiration comes at the time that it is required. Okay.
Ephraim Edgar says, as far as I'm concerned, a right partner can always
become wrong.
Believe me or not,
it all starts within.
Ephraim, you are speaking my mind.
Exactly.
Because I was just going to say that what Elongesit, I hope I call it right now. What Elongesit was saying is, I agree with it and I also disagree with it. And I am entitled to my opinion, just as everybody is entitled to their opinion.
Yes.
And I'm saying that because, what happens is that when you say the right person, anybody can be the right person and anybody can become the wrong person.
Yes, and sometimes it's about what's happening at the particular time and how the person is acting or responding at that particular time. Somebody who was right, perfect, wonderful, can just act in a way that at that time you feel, man, this person is the wrongest person on the planet for me. Yes. So
do you understand? So for me, I look at it in both ways. Now, the marriage is amazing if everybody decides we are going to make this marriage right for us. Do you understand? We are going to make this marriage right for us. We are going to make this marriage work for us. We're going to make this marriage the place where we will exist and it will be fine for everyone that is part of us. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So
are we taking more comments, or should I start talking about some of the things we can consider as
Manasa is asking, what's this 111 come? Oh, 111 we are testing sound. Don't worry. Manasa, you didn't miss anything. We're just talking about some things. And we're responding to the first person on the post that spoke about it. You don't get it. We celebrate you, you don't get it. And we thank you for your comments, right? And then Martins left us a comment what that you can add to what you're about to say. He says, let me ask, is there anything like right marriage?
Like the right marriage.
Good question.
So marriage in itself is an institution. The institution is not the problem. You have practitioners in the institution.
So I need you to say that in yourself in slow motion. The
marriage
institution
is not the problem. Yeah. The institution is not the problem. Hi, Barbara.
So if the institution is not the problem, it means that problem can develop when the people inside the institution have a problem.
So I'd like to call them the practitioners in the institution. Yes, the individuals who say, I am going to do marriage, I am going to get married, right? Yes, it's not as if you yourself are a problem, but it's just a combination of how you respond to something today, how you react to another thing tomorrow, and so on. The choices you make, your persistence in doing certain things to make sure your marriage stays peaceful, exciting, and it's making everybody happy, you and your spouse, not just one-sided. So, I mean, it's an ongoing effort. It's something that you have to wake up every day and it's like you wake up every day, today I am going to be happily married, right? It's just like even the day you're getting married, the wedding day gone. If you don't decide that today I'm going to be happy, I can assure you that on that wedding day you will vex for somebody, and most of the time it's the photographer.
The photographer.
The photographer. Sometimes the chef. In fact, speaking of chef, or the catering vendor, there was some marriage wedding thing on IG where they showed how one of the other people was comforting the bride. Why? Because at 4 o'clock the food had not arrived. So you can imagine how that lady will be feeling after maybe, I'm sure she has carefully chosen the delicacies and so on and so forth that her guests were meant to receive, and then the vendor does not show up with the food. All nice, beautiful, everybody sitting down, no food. So if you don't make up your mind, by yourself, you'll be getting angry on your wedding day. So it's the same thing with marriage. You actually have to decide, today I'm going to be happily married. Today I'm going to just do better. I'm going to do my best to be there for my husband or for your wife or whatever, So yes, it's a conscious and continuous effort. So speaking of the bliss, I think we should start from the bliss, right? Or should we start from the blisters?
Well, it depends. Let me throw out a poll like we usually do. And by the way, two things I'm going to say. One, let me talk about the poll. I'll talk about the second one when you're done saying what you want to say. Because we are going to throw out a magic word for our Zikli fans sometime in the program. You guys keep watching this space.
All right.
So we put out a poll to find out, people that when you hear about marriages, everyone, and to people that watch this show, when you hear about marriage, we put out a poll to find out which ones do you hear the most about, the good marriages or the bad marriages? As in, what was the most popular? And interestingly, 64% of the people that took the poll, these are random polls, 64% of people that took the poll says they've had more bad marriages, more bad marriages than good marriages. So you can say marriage is getting a bad rep, right? Yeah. It's getting a bad rep, but it's not his fault. It's not his fault, but it's getting a bad rep. Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
So you can decide 64%. To say, do the Bliss or the Blisters?
Let's start from, I think I'll start from the Bliss.
Okay.
Yes.
You always like good news.
Yes, I like it. So starting from the Bliss, the first thing I'll say is you have somebody will say, medical benefits from insurance. So, I mean, yes, I'll just put it out there because you know how one person has an insurance, whatever cover, and I mean it covers you and your family. Or sometimes maybe you work in a place where there's a medical insurance for the staff, and it includes the staff and their family. So that's part of the benefits you could gain from that. The second one is intimacy in a safe space. And you wonder why is this important? You know that there are people who like to brag, like, oh, I've done this, I've done that, I've had this lady, I've had that lady, I've had the other one, I've had the other one, you know. And if you now make mistake and enter that person's list, you're just another number, you know. And before you know it, your matter is outside. They say, oh, this is what she does, oh, that's how she, you know. So you can, that is if they have not even gone as far as doing a video of you people's time of intimacy, and before you know it, you are hearing what they call it, leaked something, sex tape, and so on and so forth. I mean, you can never be too careful, right? But marriage affords you the opportunity to have intimacy in a safe space with someone who is looking out for your best interest, with someone who is trying to protect your privacy, right? And so you can be free and you can express yourself and enjoy yourself completely without being afraid that tomorrow somebody is going to go and tell your matter outside, or just belittle you, you know, make you look really small because of something that happened in the privacy of your bedroom, in quotes. Okay, next one I'd like to talk about is, and seriously, if you know someone who has entered the hour in the name of being intimate with someone they weren't married to, and then their matter came out, please feel free to say, yes, I know that kind of person, or maybe give us highlights. Feel free to share in the comment section. Another one is better mental health, because you have your own personal therapist at home. You know how it is when you go to the therapist and you sit down and then you say, this is what happened, and the person is like, and then you say so, and it was very, and the guy is like, and he's writing something that, in fact, sometimes I wonder what are they writing. Maybe you can just that drawing lines. No, sorry if you're a therapist. But I mean, it's not as if you share your notes with us, right? Like that. So, yeah, but then if you're married, you actually have someone that you can talk to, share your feelings with, tell what happened, tell how difficult something is, vent. If you had a terrible day at work or at your business, you come back home, you can come and vent, you can come and offload, you can come and download, you can come and just, you know, unburden. It's like having your own personal therapist living with you in your house. So in that way, marriage helps with mental health, okay? And then another one is that you have someone to share your joys and your pains with, the highs and lows of your life with, and it's just beautiful. So even when you want to recount, okay, remember this, you know, sometimes you just want to go down memory lane. You have someone that was there with you through the joys and the pain, and you can rejoice together. You can go back together and be happy about stuff that you achieved together. You know how you achieve something great and you need to tell somebody. You in marriage, you have that person that you can just call and say, guess what happened? I've been promoted, or guess what happened? I have a salary increase, or guess what happened? I am now the MD CEO of something, and the person instead of beefing you is like, awesome.
You have your own personal cheerleader.
In fact,
and you know that's an interesting thing with in life. In life, all of us, even those of us that don't like people to high course or just everybody needs a personal cheerleader. You know, sometimes you achieve something, there has to be somebody that you can pick up the phone and call and say, I did it, and the person will say, yes, I always knew you could, or something like that. Everybody needs that, you know, personal cheerleader.
In fact, on this topic, right, there was a video I saw somewhere. So this lady, his husband was going for, I think, his bar exams or something, and she actually went out of her way to make 2 cakes. One in case he didn't pass, and the second one if he passed. So when he came back home, right, and announced to her that he passed the exams, she now brought the cake out. And it turned out she brought out the one of if he didn't pass. Then she now said, sorry, that's the wrong cake. And then now went and brought the correct one. But you see that she was going to celebrate him anyway. Whether he succeeded at the exams or failed, there was going to be a cake. And if he failed, comfort, encouragement, and you can do it. Maybe you'll try it again next time. But if he succeeded, woo, you did it. You're amazing. I knew you could. You know, and the point is, the other cake said, I knew you could do it. If you knew, what about the other cake? You know, so yes, you have your own personal cheerleader at home.
Okay. To stop to interject.
Yes.
There's some people are running their mouth in the comments. Kingsley says, "My mother can be my cheerleader now, but this guy just calm down. She's running through a list of things. Definitely, your mother cannot be all of those things that is on that list.
Yes.
All of list. So she can be a cheerleader, yes, but that's just one. You know, the interesting thing is that a number of these things, you can find them in several different people. But how many of these people will be there
through every
season of it?
Yes.
That's what happens in marriage.
Yeah.
Truly.
And how many of those people won't be distracted by their own commitments and their loyalty to their family and stuff like that? Because I mean, you want to go out and celebrate. Meanwhile, your friend has a wife and has children, and maybe that's the day the wife decides we need to do something together as a family. Will he leave his family and come and celebrate with you?
That one, that day, we should leave that door.
So, yes.
Still before you finish the bliss, Martin says, since the institution isn't the problem, then my Lord counsel us. I put it to you that there's nothing like a right marriage. Martins, I put it to you wholeheartedly with my full chest that the institution is not the problem. And if the institution is not the problem, then we need to turn the searchlights on the people in the marriage.
Yes.
You understand?
So when things are not working.
So when things are not working, we need to look where? At the people in the marriage. So if you now say the people in the marriage are the problem, then we cannot begin to ask what kind of problem are they. Ephraim Ega says, I hear every marriage is a test of how best two people can come together to mar their differences in age. That's the name. That's a good one.
Interesting.
In the Freke title says, it's not possible for him to leave. I'm not sure where she's going.
I guess we'll get
Victor.
Hi, Victor.
Hi, everyone. I can say so many people have no idea how it feels to experience these things you have listed. Wife as therapist. Now the wife they make the man see therapy. Man,
so honestly, Victor, and you know this thing that Victor has said is in line with the part that I can't remember the person who made the comment about when the spouse is the problem, right? So you look at a situation like this, in a case where you have chosen somebody who is okay, and who is trying to make sure you are okay.
Yes,
they will listen to you. But in a case where you can choose somebody who does not have your time, or somebody who has other plans than to spend their time listening to you, they may not be there to listen. Now, the other extreme is that you now have somebody who is looking to cause wahala for you. Then this thing that Victor has said becomes a challenge, right? So what could easily be bliss with the wrong person can easily become a blister.
It becomes a blister.
Yes.
You understand? And the truth is, you know, I try to shy away from people saying somebody is the right and some other person is the wrong. You understand? I prefer to say that a number of times we have two people that are either uninformed, misinformed, right, or need to be informed. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So, because if you are a person is a person, you know, we as practitioners, as family life practitioners, we like to look at a marriage as the union of a male and a female, right, who are two different entities, but they come together to form a new nation. Do you understand? So if we're looking at them like that, if we're looking at people as two different entities, we realize that those two different entities, they are individual nations by themselves, and each nation has a culture, and every culture has certain things that make them who they are. Now, when you now say these two people should come together in a marriage, it means that you are going to have a clash of many things. And sometimes what causes the problem is when these different things that we come together with into the marriage begin to confront each other. Then we say there's a problem. Then we say, no, that person is wrong. Then we say that person is no. It's just that they are carrying things just the same way you are carrying things.
You have to deal with the differences.
Differences
of experience, differences of opinion, differences of background, differences of a number of things, right? And the fact is that when you're coming together, people have to also be willing to, drop some, keep some. But if you come and you're insisting it has to be your way, I have always done like this, in my father's house was like this, in my mother's house like this, and you're expecting the other person to drop their own and stick with yours, then you're going to have conflict. But in a marriage, you have to be willing to, like, bring your bag, I bring my bag. Before we start the marriage, just literal, right? Keep your bags outside, empty everything, then outside, which one are we picking? Pick this, we'll pick that, we'll pick this, we'll pick that, and you form your new unified bag.
So you see, that unified bag you're talking about is something that I need to respond to what King said. King said something. He said marriage is so wrong in Nigeria.
Wow.
If you can imagine adultery is not a crime, how is that possible? Marriage should be a contract at this stage. When one gets tired, he or she
can leave.
Now, you see, why I want to respond to this. King, thank you very much for raising that. King, I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you are. I don't know if you're married or if you're single. In any institution, like in the marriage institution, I don't know anywhere where anybody says that adultery is not a crime, right? I don't know where that.
No. He's trying to say if someone who is married can be looking at adultery as if it is not a crime.
Yes.
Then this is a problem.
No, it's not a problem of the institution. It's
the problem of the person. Yes.
It's because everybody in life, in psychology, we like to say that everybody has a worldview. And the worldview, these are the filters through which people see everything else. Now, if somebody's filter is blurred for a reason, when we're doing this conversations, when we're setting up, we use different filters for light. The light may be white, but if the filter we put over it is yellow, everybody will say, this yellow light. But no, the light is white. Now, the marriage institution is what it is. Now, if you are looking at it with your girlfriends, when he gets
unless a significant experience or something that brings about a shift that the person decides, I am not continuing in this way or in this manner, I am going to make a change, but you cannot say for sure that that will happen. So if you want to be careful, you have to look at people's past, you have to look at their track record, you have to say, who is this person? What are they known for? How have they lived? What are their beliefs at this point in their lives? And don't expect that a miracle will happen and they will change right after they get married to you. So,
I'm getting
Jonah, what are we getting?
I'm getting the feedback that sounds tripped up. Please, guys, can you confirm whether you can hear us? If you can hear us, please type 111.
Someone says it's now back.
It's now back.
Okay. So just read a comment on IG.
Yes.
Angela says, are there really right and wrong person, or we don't just want to compromise due to selfish nature of humans? So I think you've addressed that issue of right and wrong. Peter says, I would say there is no perfect marriage and there is no perfect human. Exactly.
Yes.
Peter. That's what we talk about. Nobody is perfect. No marriage is perfect, because marriage is made up of two people who are not perfect, but they are trying to work to achieve, call it a perfect marriage. They're trying to work to achieve the best that is available to them. If they both put their hands on the plow, they both decide they are going to work together to make this happen, right? So if there is no commitment on the part of the two parties, if one person is in, the other person is out, or both people are just doing their own thing and there's no synergy of efforts, then you will see things that make people say, oh, marriage is terrible. Oh, marriage is awful. In fact, it's a disaster. You know what? If you want to be saved, don't get married. And there are people who have those thoughts and those worldviews, and they go ahead and respond to life like that. But then this same marriage, there are people who are in it and have made the decision, we will do what is required, we will work, we will make adjustments, we will fight to reach a compromise that works for two of us, we will decide to be better together than to be striving and struggling on our own, and so on. And you see them happy and fulfilled in their marriages. Are they perfect people? No. Is their marriage perfect? No. But they are achieving fulfillment and joy and bliss and peace and so much more in that union. So there you have it. Okay, so I will continue before I come to you for your comments, my dear husband. My darling husband. Okay, so so another thing is financial support. Financial support, because you see, it's from time to time you may be faced with challenges when it comes to finances. If you're on your own, then you're on your own. You start looking for how to sort yourself out. But if you are married, by default, more often than not, and once again, this depends on how you guys choose to run your finances. But in a scenario where you have decided we are here we are here together, I'm here for you, we are a team, we're in this together. If you fall upon hard times, right? Or the hard times fall upon you. You have help. Yes, you have help. You have support. You're not going to be struggling on your own. There's someone that, for instance, you lose your job. There's someone who is there to continue to take care of stuff while you get back on your feet and so on. So financial support is one of the other blissful things about marriage. So it seems you want to say something. So
no, I wanted you to finish.
Okay.
So when you finish the bliss, then we can, because it seems like the blisters are even very more obvious too, because a lot of people have heard about bad marriage, so the blisters are very obvious. Do you understand? So finish with the bliss. Okay. I have my own to add.
All right. So bliss again, partner in parenting. Somebody to help you, as in. Some people really want to have kids, but then if you are all alone in that journey of raising kids, it can be really challenging, really stressful, and so on. But in the case where you are married and your partner is with you, then you have support. So I need to run off to do something. I have a commitment at work or my business and so on. There's someone who can stand in for you, right? And to help you watch the children. So you're not doing it alone. Even the discipline, the training them, the everything, the resources you require, you have someone doing it with you. So that's another part of the bliss.
Are you done?
I'm not done.
No.
Okay, all right. Next is you can make better decisions. Here, you can make better decisions. And why can you make better decisions? Because you have a broader perspective. It's not just your opinion. It's not just what you see now, because you have a second opinion. So I can bring my thoughts on the subject, and he shares his own, and then we have a bigger picture than if it was just me. But please note, this better decision, once again, is when two of you can actually sit down to have the conversation where you share these different points of view, so that you can leverage your broader perspective. If everybody is doing their own thing, then you won't get this benefit. And the second to last I would like to share is the support systems that you get from your extended family, right? So yes, you have your family, or you may not have your own family, like your sister, your brother, maybe you're an only child, or maybe they moved away or something. But being married gives you access to another family, like the extended family. You have a bigger pool, more people that can do that can be a support system to you, and that can celebrate life with you and share your successes with you, and so on. And the last thing I would like to say here is that you can delegate roles, things you don't like doing. If the other person likes doing those things, you can easily delegate. You don't want to go and fix a car. This guy just loves doing car stuff. Go ahead. He will handle cars. He does not like cooking, and she likes cooking. She can handle cooking. So it's more like, what is there to be done here? And then you talk about who does what best, who enjoys what more. And then based on that, you share the roles. So you get to do away with the things that you don't like doing. And peradventure, both of you don't like doing something that needs to be done. You can consider outsourcing if it is possible. So there's so much more, but this is where I'll stop so we can have time to talk about the blisters.
Okay, I think for myself, I would also like to add some perhaps underrated qualities of a marriage. Companionship.
Oh yeah.
People underrate that companionship a lot, and in our practice, and in the few people that we have had the chance, and I'm using few just so that I can sound humble, but in the number of people that have had the chance to coach, to counsel, you can see that people actually need companionship. But it's just that most times it is shielded or shrouded by all the different activities that we get into. It is in that moment when you find yourself alone that you realize how lonely this life can actually
be. Yes.
So you hear people getting into depression. You hear people on social media. It's easy to raise a crowd to say, "Oh, I have so number of people following me," but how many of them actually follow you home? Do you understand? How many of them actually follow you? How many of them actually follow you home? So those are elements that people underrate. And interestingly, again, the people that talk about marriage and say, "Oh, let's create a contract, and if it doesn't work, the deal is off." What you don't understand about marriage is the fact that divorce is equally or even more difficult than the marriage. Do you understand?
The part that is most difficult, the part where you people's hard-earned money, you will now, in the name of disagreement, carry it and give to a lawyer.
And you are giving so interestingly, in divorce, the money that maybe the woman is asking you for money, the money that you didn't want to give her, you will still give lawyer to help you people to separate.
And you give even more.
Do you understand?
So it was a case of a family that they talked about. Their divorce was so intense that the money they saved for their children's university, they used it to pay.
I'm just seeing a comment that Super Sam says, "I am more scared of divorce than marriage itself, because this generation is so quick to throw in the towel." My brother, divorce is hard, but we're going to get to. I'm just saying some of these things to come to this other part. Ruth Mban says, "Generally, humans have made adultery a common practice. and people can always change when they get married. So it's by God's grace for everything to always be good, sincerely. Ruth, I agree with you, and like I say, it's also my opinion to disagree with you. Just the same way you can also disagree with me, So for I agree with you in the sense that where's Ruth's comment? I agree with you in the sense that humans have made adultery a common practice. That was what I was saying that time. I don't know, maybe that was the time my sound went off, right? That about the filters, and values is one of those filters, right? If people's values have been watered down, what is your values? For example, if your values have been watered down to the point where sex is something I can give to anybody that I like, or anybody that likes me or throws some good things around me, it's your value. Now, if the values are not high enough, it's easy to bend to whatever pressures society throw at you. And all of us know that the world is a very difficult place. So you must have certain values, you must have certain standards if you are going to stand out. So if the society doesn't have the values that meet your standard, you can be seen as you are this one no follow, this one no get. Do you understand? So what Ruth is saying is that humans have generally made adultery a common practice. The fact that they have made it a common practice doesn't mean that it is right. Do you understand? The fact that a lot of people have accepted it and are doing it doesn't mean it is right. Just know that if a lot of people have accepted it and are doing it, there are also a lot of people that have not accepted it and are not doing it. But the problem is that the people that are doing it are making adultery feel like it is, especially all these Hollywood movies and all of that. They just make it look like you can just meet a girl on the street and one night stand, you hit and you move. And that's what is common everywhere. But there are people that are also, no matter, you will try many nights, you will not be able to, you won't hit anything. Values. So the thing is to ask yourself, what are my values? What are the values that I'm walking into a relationship, into a marriage? What am I walking in? What do
I stand for?
What do I stand for? Do you understand? So the part I disagree with Ruth is the part where they say it is by God's grace for everything to be good, sincerely. Ruth, God's grace. There's I'm trying not to I'm trying not to get into let me not preach, right?
But so that you don't preach, I'll just say, Sha, that grace is available to all men.
Thank you.
So if the grace is available to all men, and some people still choose to do something that is not nice, or something that is not good, then it means that there's something else. There's the place where you have to
personal responsibility.
There's a place where you have to have convictions.
So in fact, Babi, I won't preach, but if you are a Christian, I'm sure even the Muslims have their own good book, but there's a quote that says the grace of God has appeared unto all men, giving them the power to say no to all ungodliness. Do you understand? So it means that it is there available to all men, not some men.
Whether you use it
or not becomes another issue.
Yes.
Do you understand? So that's
let me read just these two comments here. Iman says, I think it's like a pot of soup where the taste is determined by the ingredients and mixture put into the pot. Wow, that's such a beautiful analogy. So your marriage is the way you cook it, based on the spices and the ingredients you put in the pot. And Peter says, yes, it's by God's grace and conscious effort that both parties make it work. Yes.
I take a comment from Ephraim. Ephraim says, people mistake companionship for doing stuff together. I agree. The 11 people that play football in a team does not make them companions. In my opinion, when people have fun together, does not even mean that they'll be compatible together. I agree with you, Ephraim. In fact, in saying that's why we do the things. That's why we do this thing every week. Because we need people to understand that there are more things that make relationships work. If not, it will be hard work. There's working hard and hard work. You understand? But if you don't understand certain things, the grace of God is available. It is available to do what? To enable you to work the kind of works that makes you enjoy your labor at the end of it. Do you understand? For example, when we talk about companionship, what are we talking about? You know, in family system engineering, there's something we call the dream team. And I like the person that spoke about the companionship, because we try to say that every marriage is like a football team. It's like a team. And for a football team, you need 11 players to make the marriage work. And that's some of the things that we teach in our marital courses, right? The marital courses that we do. There are 11 players that you need to work in a team. And if you give me 1 minute, I'm going to run through that 11 players sharply. 1 minute, 11 players that make a dream team for any relationship. If you get it right, it will work. Let's start from position number 1, goalkeeper, Ramsdale. In Arsenal, don't, if you vex, it's my wife's show. We're Arsenal fans here. If you don't like Arsenal, use your own team. Like, number 1, Ramsdale, position 1. What does Ramsdale represent? Raw talent. What does raw talent mean? It means everybody has the ability to love. Some people don't even really know what it means to love, but the talent is in there. It's raw. Number 3, the person that plays Zinchenko, left back. You know, Zinchenko speaks about what? He speaks about the ability to do what? To develop this raw talent. Do you understand? He talks about the ability to develop this raw talent. That's what he represents. Number 4 is Gabriel. Gabriel speaks about values. We talk about values. Gabriel is Arsenal defender. Talk about values. Do you understand? What are the values that you as a team, you and your partner, this is what you agree, these are the things that we stand to. Remember that analogy you made at the beginning, where you said when people want to marry, they come into the house, they have their own bag and baggages, then they leave it outside the door, empty everything, and decide this is what we will walk into the house with. What are the values that in your relationship you say we are going to have? Number 5, Saliba represents vision. You say, what is the vision that this marriage is going to have? Do you understand? What does this marriage stand for? Where are we going? How are we going to make each other better? Do you understand? You paint a vision for the marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? We go to number 6, Declan. Declan represents teamwork, because you're saying, I am the person that is saying companionship. He says, no. It's what are the things that we will do together for the vision that we are trying to achieve. Number 8, Odegaard. Odegaard represents creativity. How do you understand yourself? Do you understand? How do you understand? But you haven't seen this football team.
It's quite interesting. Okay. You know, so it's quite interesting. Do you want to continue to number 11?
Okay. Let me stop here. Let me stop here, so that if you want to know how to make your dream team, how to make your team work, sign up for one of our marital courses. That
but I think the consideration is that the 11 things are like attributes or traits or values or something you need to bring in.
Yes.
Not that you need 11 people to make your marriage.
No. These are the 11 ingredients that you need to bring into your team to make the marriage work. Yes. And let me finish on Odegaard, the understanding in your marriage, understanding actually means your ability to read your teammates and know when to throw which pass and make good judgments. And all of us know that that's what Odegaard is good for in Arsenal.
So I have to be able to read you, and you have to be able to read me.
And know when to make good judgments. So that you know that it's not when I'm watching match, that's when you now come and be telling me how serious the go slow is in Lagos, especially when Arsenal is losing. Arsenal, please don't lose tomorrow. I beg. We can't deal. All right.
Blisters. I'm going to talk about blisters because we don't have so much time left. The vow during weddings has also been watered down. These days, it's no longer for better for worse. It's now for better for better.
Well, I think on that one, will be because of the people that are taking the vows. Like we said, the marriage institution has not changed for years. It's the people that are changing, and the people need to know that. You need to. In fact, that one reminds me one occasion when I was supposed to officiate a wedding, and I was joining the couple, and then the couple said something. I said with this ring I did well. It's
forsaking all others.
No, it's not even forsaking. With this ring I did well, it is a token of my love to you. Something I said to you, and then we went through the vows, and I got to through all the seasons, forsaking all others, through all the seasons of life, for better, for richer, for poorer, and the person said, for richer, for richer. I stopped the service. I said, it's for richer, for poorer, in sickness and in health. Why? Because it's not a swear. You have said through all the seasons of life. The seasons of life come with rich and poor seasons. And it is how you are able to adjust through the seasons that determines whether you will get poorer or whether you will get better. But the seasons of life is like a cycle, it will come. So it's not a curse. So I had to educate that couple right there on the altar to tell them nobody does for richer, for richer, for richer, for better, for better. It's not a positive point. It's not a confession of fault. No, it is a fact, and God does not deny the reality.
Yeah. Anyway, someone will say, "I'm speaking positively. I'm confessing positively, and so on." And that it's okay, really, it's okay. But the fact is, I mean, even in the Bible, we know that Jesus told us that as long as we are here, in
this life,
we will have tribulation.
You will have.
So yes, it's okay to hope for the best. It's okay to expect the best, but you should also prepare for the worst, so that peradventure it comes your way. You know how to handle it, okay? Because I mean, even though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, what's going to be the shadow? You know, so even God will be with you, yes. So expect the best, but just know that challenging times may come, and it will be important if you guys are committed from the get-go that no matter how tough it gets, I'm going to be here for you. I'm going to be here with you. We will go through it together and get to the other side, right? So yeah, blisters. We're almost out of time.
Yeah, but we have been talking about the blisters. But just share what you have here.
A few here. Other stakeholders in your life. So probably you were all on your own, and you enjoy being on your own and doing your own thing and making your decisions all by yourself and not having to confer with anyone. Well, when you get married, you are going to have to consider the other people in your life. First of all, your spouse. Subsequently, you will have children, and they have to be factored into the decision. So that's part of what you could consider a blister. Another one is the risk of betrayal and heartbreak and so on. Because the fact is, you made a commitment to this person. You are expecting that they're also committed to you. You're expecting loyalty and stuff. But yes, we do hear and see that in some cases, people go back on their commitment or on their covenant, and they do what they are not supposed to do. They have extramarital affairs and so on, and people, there's that risk of betrayal, right? So it's a risk you live with. Someone will say, oh, if there's a risk, then that means I'm not going to get married. When you drink water, is there no risk of choking? Will you not say you'll not drink water? Anyway, so really it's up to you. And then another one is you could have a my way, your way, what should I call it? The conflict, or you're dragging this issue of whose way is it going to be? Or you could decide that we are going to do it our way, in which case it becomes blissful, because you're able to walk through it together and find a unified position. But if you can't, then that drag can be very draining, where it's who is going to win. I want this, he wants that. Who is going to win? And you people start bringing your struggles and arguing and stuff. It can be so draining. That's part of the blister.
I know. Let me tell you the truth, right? The truth is just the same way you say, oh, marriage is hard. Last week we saw it too. Being single too is hard. Being divorced is hard. In fact, just living this life is hard.
So choose your heart.
You understand? Choose your heart. Sometimes you just need to live and let live. Do you understand? Live and let live. What's your happiness? What's your joy? In fact, just the I think it was before this show now. I was just saying to myself, we had one back and forth that I was just saying to myself that this is part of the blisters of marriage. As in, sometimes to even get your idea across the line, you have to do management presentation. You have to do presentation. You have to, in fact, the only thing remaining, in fact, you have to prepare slides to defend your position. Sometimes you have to prepare slides, and then use bullet points. I mean, it's but when you consider that one and you weigh it side by side with peace of mind, if I do the bullet point and do the presentation, will it give you peace? To give you peace. If it gives you peace and it gives me peace, we are fine. So I choose my heart. It's better for me to sleep well in the night than for me to be up dragging right of road or right of way. That right of way thing is a very interesting concept, right? Because you may be driving right of way and end up in an accident, and both of you are going nowhere.
And then you end up wasting time. You could have just waited.
You could have just waited
1, 2, 3 seconds for the person to pass, and then you pass. Yeah. Okay. So another blister: financial drain if the person you went to marry isn't a good manager of resources or had some certain debt and you were not aware.
Financial
and then when you become married to them, all of a sudden you are partly responsible for that debt. So, and this is another thing, you could actually have to bear the consequences of an action that was not yours.
Yeah. So those are very key parts. Those are very key things and that's why we always encourage, especially for our single people that watch the show. We always encourage. See, having a marriage that you enjoy is a product of the choices that you choose to make before you enter inside. When you have entered inside, staying inside is a product of the choices you choose to now make when you are inside. Everything is a product of the actions and decisions. So before you get in, you can get it right. Just make the right choices. And that's why we do this thing every week, week in, week out, week in, week out. Just the same way you also make other choices and other decisions in other areas of your life. Your marriage and your relationships require good choices.
Because you can decide I'm going to choose to just be in love. I'm going to choose to just enjoy our time together. I don't want to talk about anything that is going to cause stress. When I bring money, the person starts acting like they are a little uncomfortable. So I don't want to make him uncomfortable. So when we talk about money, we'll just enjoy each other's company, hold hands, and then you now say, I've known him for 2 years. Meanwhile, you have not talked about anything important to him.
You have not talked about
we've been together for 2 years. You don't know anything critical.
You've been together for 2 years. You want to get married. You didn't do number 2. Who plays a right back? Ben White. You didn't do Ben White. Ben White talks about purpose. You didn't do purpose. You don't know what's the purpose for your relationship. What's the purpose? And then the fact that marriage is so fun is the fact that marriage is fun is the fact that the people in the marriage will always continue to change, and that's why Saka number 7 is continuous development. I've given them the team already. Saka number 7 is continuous development. What does that mean? It means that you are going to change, and I am going to change, and we have to do what? Adjust in the process.
Yes, but the beautiful thing about the change is that depending on the kind of person you marry, the change is going to be such that it will not make you say, you know what, I can't do this anymore.
No, but is that both of you actually, because it's continuous development, is that both of you are looking for, how do I make you better, and how do you make me better? How do we become better to achieve the purpose that we have as a union? Do you understand? That's continuous development. But the problem is sometimes the people can start out in love, but they have changed, and they're still sticking to when I married you, you were like this. Meanwhile, you have married and you have changed.
And the other person has changed.
The other person too has changed, and you refuse to do what? To evolve. those are some dynamics in relationships that keep it fresh and fun. So I was going to say for our Zilly fans, we have some fans on Zilly that run something Zilly is an app. We'll post the link after the show. But for our Zilly fans, the magic word for today is companionship. So find where it is in the video and do the needful. Companionship is the magic word for today.
Yeah. So Victor says, and we wrap this up right after taking the last few comments. Victor says, once again, marriage is being intentional about showing love, acting love, being love, irrespective of whatever. Bad energy is not worth it, and don't do it because you expect the same. Do it just
because.
Thanks so much, Victor. Debbie says, great show today. Jifreka said, I did learn a lot today. Thanks for this opportunity. And Super Sam says, no connection without communication.
Fantastic feedback. Yes. Just to piggyback on what Victor said, do it just because. And I will add at the end, because of the purpose for which both of you came together. Most people forget. Most people just do the vows like we spoke earlier and they don't remember it. But even if you are not following the vows that they read for you in church or in court or whatever, between the both of you, you must say to yourselves, where are we going? What is the purpose that both of us must achieve as a team going forward?
And you just have to try to do right by the other person each day. I will treat you right, and I expect you to treat me right. And if you don't treat me right, I will tell you so that you will treat me right.
Even if I don't treat you right, I won't even get the chance to fall asleep. Because it is at that point. It's at that point where sleep is just trying to come. She'll just be there, Bobby. I have something to say. guys that are married, but you need to talk about it. Oscar says, I'm super broken to join this show. I'm a victim of a broken marriage, and you can imagine the trauma that comes with that on the whole. I have learned a lot today in order not to repeat the same. Oscar, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing with us. We appreciate you, and we also join our faith with you that God will heal your heart and God will heal your home.
Yes.
And that if it's possible for you to reach out to us directly, so please reach out to us directly, or maybe through any of our links, maybe on Facebook or Instagram. Just DM, and we can talk about how to walk you through whatever stage you are. But we trust that God will help you, and you can listen to the video all over again, and God will help you as you walk through it.
All right, so thanks so much everyone for being with us on the show today. It's been interesting. Thanks for your engagement and participation, and please remember to share. And if you have not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for?
Do I know?
So we'll see you next time on Common Sense for Relationships. Remember,
common sense is not so common. You can't be kissing me then. Kiss me too. Kiss me.
I did not kiss anybody.
You say, guys, show has ended. Let me push you off it. I want to kiss my wife. You push you off show, please.
Wow. KJ says, let the singles breathe. Please breathe though.
I better come, let me kiss you, Joe. Come and do one. Come and do one.
Kiss the bride.
Thank you once again for joining us. We hope you got great value today. Our goal is to bring you valuable information to help you make better decisions in your life and relationships. Please do not forget to subscribe, share,